It's the Bro Show. It's Lucas and Jacob.
Hi, bros. Pop it twisted.
Hi, bros.
Pop it twisted.
Tanashi recognized us.
She actually did last week.
No, but we didn't have we didn't have the podcast when Brat originally came out, the Charlie XCX record for non-Charlie XCX fans. But the song 360, I still to this day only hear in the second verse. What does she say? Let's go, let the vibe in. Tanashi recognized us in the... And I always love that. I thought that was the line originally, and I didn't even question it. And I thought that was such a cool line because I was thinking, like, yes, Tinashe is... Like, she has big songs, but she isn't, like, a superstar. So I was like, that's cool that, like, Tinashe... That Charlie thought it was so cool, this, like, niche person recognized her. Like, I thought that kind of went into the whole Brat aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, I pictured her out at the club with these gays and, like, Tinashe recognized her. And then, like, that's kind of a flex, just being like, Tinashe recognized us.
Oh, yeah. Like, when you told me that, I was like, oh, I could see that being the lyric, but... Then we looked at the lyric and it's actually something kind of more iconic. It says something like, Sewell sluts are vibin'.
I know, but I still don't hear. No, then the part that I think says Tinashe recognized us as internationally recognized. Like, it doesn't actually sound like that. It sounds like Tinashe recognized us. Because how can you even fit that in? Internationally recognized. Like, it doesn't even fit. It's better. Tinashe recognized us. If you love it, if you hate it, I don't fucking care what you think. Like, I think she did put Tinashe, and it's kind of a little bit of a Brat, like, it's like some hidden lore that she's making it this other lyric. Because I only hear the Tinashe. I'm not even trying to be cute. Like, that's all I hear.
I think that some musicians do that, though. I think some musicians... I don't have any examples, but I could come up with a few in 30 minutes. If you look at Genius, look at Apple Music, the lyrics are something else, but you keep listening and you don't hear the lyrics. So what I'm saying is that I think some musicians purposely make lyrics that sound like other stuff because they like it because they like how there's just like a mystery going on.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I feel like that's definitely a thing. Like even the one that everyone always talks about, Taylor Swift, Starbucks lovers, they'll tell you, and it's really... Got a long list of ex-lovers, but everyone thought it was Starbucks lovers.
Yeah.
A little hidden advertisement for Starbucks that her record label made her do.
And then when you play, like, Dark Horse backwards, it sounds like the devil.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you're going to hell or something.
That trend needs to come back of playing pop songs backwards, uploading it to YouTube, and then pretending it says demonic things.
And they get 1 million views.
Oh, my God, yes. That needs to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually does need to come back.
I just feel like my stomach just feels kind of weird right now in my mouth because for lunch before this, I tried this weird sugar-free sauce, and I think it's full of sucralose. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's full of artificial sweetener. It's supposed to be like sugar-free, but I just feel like itchy.
Oh, there's like...
But is it a placebo?
I don't know. I feel like it's not a placebo because artificial sweeteners are all over the place. I feel like the only artificial sweetener I fully F with are the ones in diet sodas.
Oh, those are okay.
Just classic Coca-Cola diet, Pepsi products, unsweetened, zero-calorie sweeteners. But all of these other zero-calorie sweeteners suck. Okay, so zero-calorie sweetened ice cream is gross to me. Like, even to me, Halo Top, it gets to a point where it kind of grosses me out, all these sugar alcohols. And then another really gross one, Zevia.
Oh, that is disgusting.
It's stevia, and they sweeten it, like they make grape sodas, and it's like, this is disgusting, despicable. And there's so many other gross ones, like a bunch of gross alcoholic drinks have zero-calorie sweeteners, and they're gross too.
I actually like Halo Top, though. I have to say that one I disagree with.
That one, okay.
If you don't think about all the weird ingredients in it, it is so good.
But it does that thing. Did you say that you feel like your tongue's dry?
Yeah.
That's what Halo Top does to me. I can literally, have you experienced this before? Where you can feel the holes in your tongue.
Oh, that's what's happening right now. Like,
I hate that feeling.
Why do I have cotton mouth from my lunch? Like I shouldn't try. And my stomach just has this little, like, I'm picturing all this stuff swirling around and like the artificial sweetener sort of eating away at my organs. Like, why did I do that to myself?
I just picture these little circular people, in your organs, and it's a circle, and they have arms and legs, and they keep pulling apart the artificial sugar, and they're so stressed, being like, this isn't even meant for the body. Was this even made? This isn't on our list, because it was made in like a man.
Oh, yeah, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, because it's not like actually from the earth.
Wait, I'm stressed now. This podcast is going to be weird. Like, I ate directly before recording, so it's just going to keep hitting more and more. It's going to be like an edible, like 45 minutes in, it'll be at the peak and it's going to be crazy.
I know.
I've actually never even done an edible.
You should do one. Do one right now.
Oh, F that. Even smoking weed made me feel weird. So I heard eating it. Like, I've heard that actually can give you like a psychedelic experience, right? Like, isn't that thing where just eating it? Like, I remember seeing this thing that like it goes to these other receptors in your brain where it can have a more intense effect. And also, I don't like the idea of doing something and waiting an hour to an hour and a half. Like that 1 hour is where all the anxiety is building. Like, I'd rather just smoke it. If I was going to do it, smoke it, immediately get high.
Same with me. I'd rather smoke it too. I want to keep talking about what we're talking about, but first I want to say another artificial sweetened thing that I actually like. Protein powder. If it's artificially sweetened, I actually have with that.
Oh, that's okay in that sense, for sure.
Okay, but back to the weed thing. I actually had a nightmare a few weeks ago, or even like a few days ago, probably a few weeks ago. What the nightmare? So I've done like THC edibles before, and this is how much I'm afraid of THC edibles. Like, maybe I do one again. Like, I wouldn't even put it past myself because I feel like I always like change my mind. But I feel like I hate them so much that I literally had a nightmare a few weeks ago where I did one. And just do you guys want to know like the description of the nightmare? I think I might have told you about this, but maybe I didn't. The nightmare was basically, I was in this basement and I just remember I was with all these celebrities because in this dream, it wasn't even weird that I was with these celebrities. I don't know the celebrities, by the way. Like, I don't remember who the celebrities were, but I just remember in the dream, like...
Jessica Simpson, probably.
Yeah, like, I was like a Ryan... Let's just say I was a Ryan Murphy actor, so, like, it was normal that I was, like, around these celebrities.
And you're on an edible in a basement full of celebrities.
But it was kind of, like, our family's basement, because I remember in the dream, this is flashing back to me, I was sitting on top of a deep freeze. You know those big deep freezes?
You were in like a basement Midwest storage room.
Yeah, like, but for some reason it was normal how like these, let's just like Jessica Simpson, like Amber Rose was there probably. And like, I just remember they were like, oh, like, let's like do some weed. And then like, I remember like everyone else is doing it, so then I just felt peer pressure to do an edible. And I remember in this dream, I actually had so much anxiety because it started hitting, and then I started like having psychedelic effects, like cause I kept pitching stuff, and then I went to the worst fear of mine ever. This, even when you're drunk, you could think this. What if this feeling never goes away, and this is my new version of reality?
Oh my, that is the worst. So you feel trapped.
Yeah, that happened in the nightmare, and that's the part of the nightmare that was the worst part, where you actually realize this. I could be developing a mental illness, but this is my new version of reality. And then the dream just ended. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the last thought I had in the dream that I remember. But I literally had a nightmare about doing edibles.
Oh my God, I feel so bad if somebody took an edible and turned this podcast on and was like, I'm going to have a chill night. And now they're like, have all these things to be worried about. Oh, You'll be fine, girl. You're not, we're messed up.
I feel like if you already are anxious, it's probably not the vibe to do an edible. But if you're just already in a chill vibe, then you're good, sis.
While I was eating my lunch, I was watching Charlie XCX on Howard Stern, and she said she doesn't F with weed.
Oh, she doesn't?
And it makes her like all paranoid and stuff. Because you think about it, like, it is just like scary. Like, it's only fun. I feel like whenever I've done weed, it's only fun if done weed. Whenever I've done weed, it's only fun if you're like with one other person. And then like you really are vibing. Otherwise, if like even two people are with you, like I remember having this experience where I was with like a good friend and their friend who I didn't really know was there. And we were smoking weed, and then I started coming up with all these conspiracies that they were making fun of me, and like it just is off. Like I feel like it's a one-on-one type thing for me. Like I could never like go and like what you even said, go to a party. Like your nightmare was about being at a party on a deep freeze doing weed. Like that is not the vibe.
For sure not. Yeah, like and when I think about doing weed, it's always this vibe. Like even being like it just is this vibe where it does kind of bring out this vibe of overthinking, like kind of what you were saying. Like I'd be talking to you and I wouldn't even be listening to you words. I'd more be looking at your hands and like I would like make up like, are these hand movements that you're doing like are low-key like sending hate towards me? I can tell. Just making up shit like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then like when you might be with someone and they start overthinking everything and then it scares you. Like remember one time I was in my early 20s, I was smoking weed with this person and they said, they started saying like, I think I'm having a heart attack. And then I started freaking out because I was like, wait, what if they are? And then it's like, should we go to the hospital? But it's
being like 22, being like, I think I'm going to have a heart attack.
I feel like that's what's good about drinking alcohol. Like most likely the vibe will always be pretty consistent. But I feel like with weed, you can switch the vibe drastically with one sentence.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, like you could like actually, you could be in like a good environment, like watching a movie that you love, but then let's say you're at the movie eating nachos, and then the person next to you says, okay, but does the cheese have like a little weird taste, like maybe it was poisoned? Then you actually start thinking, wait, did the person that gave me the nachos poison it because they want me to die?
Oh, yeah, I feel like you could go down that path.
Yeah.
On weed.
I'm trying to think though, like when you're drinking, like if you're like pretty tipsy, like if someone did say like, oh, I feel like there's gonna be, this was the first thing that came to mind. Like, I feel like there's gonna be a shooting. Like, would that like really like, I feel like when you're drunk, it's a different vibe.
Yeah, I feel like you would just be like, nah, because like you're more like with reality. But with weed, you're in like another dimension. So you might like actually start thinking there might actually be a shooting.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, how did this even get, it got brought up because the artificial sweetener is gonna turn into an edible.
Oh yeah, my mouth is getting consistently more cotton mouth.
When I was driving to your house, like I was just playing my favorites mix on Apple Music, and it's like such a big variety of music. And like I feel like I'm always switching, but like what vibe are you when you're listening to music? Do you think you're more of a consistent person? Like, so let's just say you're just listening to folk music, this whole whack that you're on, or do you think it's more of like every song is switch? And I feel like I switch between both of those. Like, what I mean is that every song switches from different genres or a different vibe.
I feel like if I'm during a listening session, like on a walk or something, I want it to kind of all be the same vibe, whether it's like pump up or like sometimes you want to listen to like these really sad Adele songs and stuff.
Yeah, because when I was driving to your house, I was realizing that it was just fun, like just switching so fast. Like I would go from like A$AP Rocky to like How to Disappear from Lana Del Rey to like Bunny is a Rider by Caroline Polachek.
That's
And it was
so
just
a roller coaster.
Yeah, and it just is. And it's weird because like I realized that I always change. Like sometimes when I listen to music, I actually get in the vibe. Like you kind of like do a character. But this was more the vibe of just actually just listening to it. There's like for sure a difference. You can consume music in different ways, I realized.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like today was more of I'm just switching every song because I have a new vibe.
That's what's so weird about listening to music. It's like actually is a whole experience. Like I feel like I'm never just listening to it. Like if I'm on a walk with the AirPods in, like I feel like I'm picturing a whole music video. Like I have this whole like visualization going on. Like it isn't just listening to the music. It's sort of like creating this whole story with it or something.
Yeah, like let's say you're on a road trip and you're just talking about what should we have for lunch. The vibe's gonna be so different than if Lana Del Rey is playing versus, let's just say, Nicki Minaj is playing. Because I feel like if Lana Del Rey is playing, it's more of the vibe. But like, oh yeah, like to be completely honest, can we stop talking about lunch and just talk about like mental health? Because I'm kind of depressed. And then if you listen to Nicki Minaj, it might be more the vibe. But like, oh yeah, to be honest, like I kind of want McDonald's. Like it's what how even with the road trips, like you picking the music is actually like a big thing.
That's true.
Because it sets the whole groundwork for everything.
That's what's so scary is that, yeah, it changes how you feel so instantly. So like but it's like, I want to listen to all this depressing music. So maybe you're just meant to be depressed sometimes.
Oh yeah, like
I don't want to just listen to happy music because then that'd just be boring. Like you need to have these like really depressing songs every now and then.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, I feel like there's no such thing as like, oh, let's just be happy all the time. It's like, no, it's just boring. Let's be honest.
You need to like experience the depths of like darkness and then she'll be able to appreciate the songs like Happy by Pharrell. That's actually on my topics list because I saw the funniest article headline that writing that song broke him.
Wait, what?
That's just so funny because it's like a song all about happiness, but I guess it wasn't.
Oh, is it because I'm just gonna assume, is it because he wasn't happy and he was like the people around him kept saying, write a really happy song. And it was so difficult.
I guess he kept trying to write. Was it for Minions? Despicable Me.
Yeah, I think it was for Despicable Me. Minions is like a subcut, is like another movie that's based. It's from like the same universe.
Yeah,
though.
they're like intertwined somehow. But he was paid to write a song for them, and he sent like 9 ideas, and they kept getting denied. And then finally, he was like, "What am I supposed to do?" And he was all mad. So he sarcastically was saying, "I'm happy," like trying to say like, "Let's make the dumbest happy song for them." And then that actually became like the biggest song ever. And he said like while he was recording it, he was just not happy, and like it broke him. Right? The quote was literally, "It broke him."
Oh, so
He's broken from the song "Happy." So I hope you all enjoyed it.
that's crazy. This is like a common occurrence. I feel like so many artists say that when they were writing or recording something, I'm just gonna use this word, they viewed it as cringy, but then it actually ends up being a success because basically what you're saying is that he just thought it was such a dumb song, right?
Yeah, he was just singing it sarcastically, like saying, "I'm happy, clap along if you," and he's actually in such a bad mood singing that.
I know, I love stuff like that. It's just interesting.
For some reason, I remember when that song was big, going on YouTube and seeing that he did like a 10-hour live stream listening to that song over and over. Did I make this up? It was like something about the music video was for 10 hours, him doing a music video of it. So like, if you didn't like the song, that seems pretty extreme to do it. Like, I feel like that would make you hate any song, and that would break anyone listening to any song for 10 hours. It was something like that.
He listened to it for 10 hours?
Should we actually Google it? Because I actually want to know.
There's like a 10-hour thing.
What is it?
Oh, wait, no, this is on Reddit. This was 10 years ago. Pharrell Williams' Happy 24-hour music video. So is it just...
So he recorded a 24-hour music video? Like, no wonder why it broke his soul.
Or is it just a loop of the music video for 10 hours? And it was like, no one had really done that back then?
Oh yeah, I don't remember back 10 years ago when this came out, I thought it was actually 24 hours consecutively. So,
okay.
like that would break anyone.
Did you listen to this song like you actually clicked on your library on whatever you were using and clicked play?
I'm pretty sure I didn't. Like I think maybe I might have once to be like, do I like it? But it isn't for me. I never liked the song Can't Stop the Feeling either.
Because I hate when people like say stuff like this because it's like obviously someone listened to it, but I'm just gonna say it. Like I guess like I just don't really understand how that song did so good because like who actually listened to it? Is it just kids? I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just a pumpkin patch anthem. Like sometimes a song just hits the pumpkin patch and the trampoline park and it explodes.
Yeah, and then think about all these people where they're driving their kids to school and they have a kid playlist and it just is like happy over and over.
But one of those those little cartoon movie songs that I actually love is Ooh La La by Britney Spears. What was that for? The Smurfs?
Oh.
Ooh la la, baby, don't be shy. It's so good.
The one that I like
actually I've listened to that probably 3 times this year.
Wait, this year?
Yeah.
And when did that come out? Like 2012?
Something like that, but every now and then it just pops into my mind. And I'm like, I need to listen to Ooh La La by Britney Spears for the Smurf soundtrack. And every single time, it's so good.
The one that I like is for the Trolls soundtrack. I think it was Trolls 2. It was SZA and Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah,
the other side.
There's been times we've been in the car, and all of a sudden I see that you're playing a Smurf song.
No, the Trolls.
Oh, the Trolls. Oh, wait, was Britney's for Smurfs then or Trolls? Wait, what's the difference between the Smurfs and the Trolls?
All I know is that I remember I watched the Smurfs and it's 3 little blue guys. And then I think Trolls, I think I did watch one of them. It's just like, just Trolls.
Oh, it's
how
like
they have
those
that little,
things
like,
with
gross hair.
Yeah, they have that hair that points up.
Yeah, I think, so they're like 2 different movies. But I feel like they...
That's just so funny. SZA did a song for Trolls.
No, but if you listen to the song, it's actually just about like the grass isn't always green on the other side, and it's just good.
That song actually is good.
But I feel like we both gave an example, but like other than that, I can't really think of any other like kid movie. Oh, another one that I actually kind of do like, and there was a moment where I listened to it, is the Toy Story song, You've Got a Friend in Me.
Oh,
that song is good.
I sang that at my talent show.
Yeah, so
when
you're
I
a fan of it too.
9 years old, that was the first time I ever sang publicly. That was my Demi Lovato moment of being like, I'm going to take it public. And I took my singing public, and yeah, it's actually funny because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if there were winners in this talent show, but there were 2 other kids my age who were in the talent show. And I remember, I think they might have won and I didn't. And like within the last month, I've Facebooked both. Like I searched both of them because I was like, I want to know what happened to them. Because like we all competed and they beat me.
When you're
so I was like trying to see, like, are they beating me still?
Yeah, it's kind of vibe like, did they like become like a successful musician?
I know, it's like, do I have to start another competition with them? Just it's good every now and then to just like pick random people from your childhood and search them and then do a mental competition, like scoreboard between your lives. Just kidding. That's probably toxic, but
doing stuff like that, if I do that and like it's on Facebook or something, I always get scared. Like, wait, what if I accidentally like added them as a friend, and then they think like I want to be friends with them again.
Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
like then
It starts
like
this
an
whole
OCD
thing.
thought of like, wait, what if I like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, then I actually don't want to like message them because that sounds awkward to me. Like if they do like think I'm trying to be friends.
Oh yeah. That just made me think of like I've thought about deleting my Facebook before because I don't even use it like ever. I never go on it.
Except to look at those people's Facebooks that you competed against.
I actually think that might have been on LinkedIn.
Oh,
So I didn't even utilize Facebook. But like one time this person messaged me on Facebook who I like vaguely knew from our hometown. Like I haven't talked to them in like 20 years or something. But they messaged me. And this kind of goes into what we were talking about, but they had an idea for an animated movie. And they said, like, let's get this going. Like, do you have anyone you can send this to? But like, I was just laughing because I was like, I don't know what they think I am, but like, I can't like make your animated movie dream come true.
I remember you
like, it's so
told me
funny that they
this.
thought like for somehow I'd have connections to like DreamWorks or something. Like,
Wasn't it like a Disney movie idea?
I forgot what I even said. I think I did reply and just be like, "Oh my god, like just this sounds cool. Let's keep doing it." But I don't have any like I got the advice would just be to, like send it to people, but I don't like have anyone specific to send it to.
Oh, I got no Pixar. That is so funny.
I know. Oh, we didn't. I want to talk about this last week, so this is kind of actually old news. But Bigfoot was spotted.
Oh, you told me this in Oklahoma. It's always in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and TMZ wrote about it. All these other reliable news sources, since TMZ is so reliable, they wrote about how Bigfoot was spotted. But then it was so sad because today I was like, let me see what actually ended up
It
happening
was
with
debunked
that.
or some shit.
The guy, it was just all a joke. On his next TikTok after showing apparently Bigfoot in the forest was the guy taking off the mask. And then what was playing? Oh, there was some song playing. I think it might have been like "Turn Down for What?" And like they took off the mask of the Bigfoot.
Okay, but you have to admit, I remember I watched the video and it's like, okay, I just don't really get why anyone would believe it just because it looks like a costume. Like, I feel like I would only be like, there's actual proof of Bigfoot if someone like, if you like saw their face more or something. Because when I saw the fall from Big Bear, apparently, I was like, that looks like it's from Party City.
From Bigfoot.
Yeah, part of me thinks that like no one really believed it, but it was just fun to hype it up.
But that's what's crazy about TikTok. Like it looked like the costume was probably like, yeah, $60 from Party City or something, like one of their high-end costumes. But that's a pretty easy to get like all these news stations to write about your TikTok then.
Well,
like it's just a man in a Bigfoot costume in the forest, and then everyone actually reported on it.
I thought people would do this more often, though. Like, I thought there would be Bigfoot sightings every day, but
I know.
No.
I bet you the actual Bigfoot community is so mad because they're like, boo, you got so much attention. You got everyone, you were at the headline of every news source, and now it was all a joke. No one's ever going to take us seriously again.
and you know someone saw that video of Bigfoot and actually started crying, saying, I've spent my whole life researching Bigfoot, and finally, TMC's writing about it. Some got people sources are writing about it, and then like they got so pissed.
I know. I actually feel for those people because that'd be me with UFOs. Like whenever they're in the news, I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, finally. And then like if I found out somebody if somebody just did it as a spoof and it was all a prank, I'd be so mad. Like, boo, what? Boo, what?
It was so funny because wasn't it just Bigfoot like sitting by a tree?
And then the TikToker runs away, and it's like they said it was the scariest moment of their life. So yeah, Bigfoot was spotted, but it was all fake. So we're still on the hunt for him. Links below to donate to like there's a lot of search parties for him.
Part of me, like, I just want to spend like a whole week watching the whole, like, I'm guessing it's Travel Channel, maybe Sci-Fi. There's a whole reality show or like an investigation show about Bigfoot.
It's every week.
I've seen it on the guide before. It's called like Finding Bigfoot. And I was like, I'm assuming there's multiple seasons.
Oh my God, that seems like it wouldn't be able to be a whole show.
Well,
but like maybe every episode goes into a different story where someone encountered him or something.
That's what I was going to say is like, we aren't part of the Bigfoot community, but I'm guessing if you really wanted to like research it, there was probably like, I'm just going to say 10 people in a 50-mile radius of us that are so into Bigfoot. I'm talking about they've gone on trips trying to find him.
Oh yeah.
Like they like a whole, they're like really into it. Like a whole other level.
I feel like these people who did see Bigfoot, didn't they probably just see a bear? And then their memory with all the fear wrapped around their memory, it transformed into Bigfoot. You know, like you would kind of wouldn't know. Like if I was on a hike and I saw a bear, I feel like when I ran back to my car to safety, I might think like that was Bigfoot.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like you could easily be like, that was a Bigfoot, man. That was not a bear.
Same like if for some reason I actually saw a ghost with my own two eyes. Like I actually could see something with a ghost. Like I feel like when I told people the story, like it might be a little bit more hyped up. Like I'd be like, the ghost like even blinked at me or something crazy.
And I remember reading something about how they did a study where like they had all these people have this really scary experience where like someone popped out at them with like a hammer or something when they were on a hike. It was something along these lines where it was a specific thing they were holding.
Why are people doing studies like this? It's fucking annoying.
But then they interviewed everyone after the fact and everybody had drastically different memories because when you're in such a fearful situation, like obviously your memory isn't really working. So like some of them were like, he had a chainsaw, like he had a saw, like they thought like it was this whole other thing when in reality it wasn't. And we actually are guilty of that. That's on my topics because I cut this out of last week's podcast, but I told this whole story about how this girl DM'd me and I was saying she saw me at a concert and she DM'd me the next day and said she wanted to tase me with a taser and then I think I even went as far to say like, or maybe it was she actually wanted to put me in a shock collar. And like we both were saying like we remembered this like crazy ass story. But then I went back to the DM because when I was editing it, I was like, let me go back to the DM to like make sure we were on the right track.
What'd she say then?
What she actually said, she DM'd me saying she would stun thumb me. Which I think, I actually believe, now I get why I went to taser because I feel like when I saw that, I thought that meant taser.
Oh, okay. I like still stand by, like, I believed what you were saying because there's this Aisha Radhika song which says, keep a stun gun with me in case I'm in trouble. And I always just assumed a stun gun was another version of a taser.
This was stun thumb.
Oh,
But
okay.
I remember I actually Googled it because I was like, what is stun thumb? Because she DM'd me saying like I was going to stun thumb you or something. I was right behind you and I wanted to stun thumb you. But then I Googled it and it said like that's not really like a typical term, so we don't know what it means. So maybe it did mean like she wanted to like do a little stun gun to me.
Yeah, just like a taser basically.
Yeah, but it's funny how then in my mind, since this happened,
like a chokehold thing.
Yeah, this happened 5 years ago. So then I was like, wait, or actually was it a shock collar? But that wasn't even, it was the same sort of thing, shocking, taser, shocking, tasing, stun thumb. Like it all is in the same world. So it makes sense how my memory was fuzzy. But does anyone know what a stun thumb is?
I'm just going to assume she meant a stun gun or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe couldn't you just see a stun thumb as you put this thing over your thumb and you can just tase someone with your thumb,
Hey, because otherwise,
it's just like a little like glove that
or
is
just be like shoving your thumb into someone's back really abruptly to like kind of scare them when they aren't expecting it. Like that could be stun thumb.
Yeah, like oh my, it's stunning. Like stunning actually is like more just like diamonds and stuff. But but I feel like it's putting a glove on your thumb that tases people.
Okay, so I almost got stun thumbed. My story time.
Crazy. So we talked about lemons last week. We were saying like getting a Diet Coke with a lemon is kind of a upper echelon moment. And yeah, people commented that McDonald's has lemons. Like if you get a lemonade, they will put a lemon in it. Like you can ask for a Diet Coke with a lemon. Like people said you should try it out.
I saw mixed info though, because I saw some people saying I work at McDonald's. They have lemons, so obviously I believe them. They work there. But then other people said they don't.
Oh wait, yeah.
One person, I feel like, but most people said they do have a lemon. So that's good knowing that if I go through any drive-through, I can ask for a lemon.
So basically but I guess then we need to close the story. I guess the end of the story is Diet Coke with a lemon is not fancy.
Oh yeah, but it still is. Like yes, you can get it at McDonald's, which isn't like a 5-star restaurant, but I feel like in my mind, like Diet Coke with a lemon will always remain just luxe, top of the line, high fashion, editorial.
Next level.
And also a lot of people commented saying, Lucas, even though you're going caffeine free, there's caffeine free Diet Coke. And I just want to say I'm not going to do that. For some reason, I feel like I'm a very like black and white person. Like it probably means I'm more easily to like join a cult. But I feel like since I can't have caffeinated Diet Coke, I'm not really going to mess with the non-caffeinated. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I feel like I might be the same where it's like, if I am going to drink Diet Coke, I would just have the caffeine.
Yeah, you know, people also like, I'm going to quit drinking for a year, but then they drink like non-alcoholic beer. Like I don't understand this. I'm never going to drink decaf coffee either.
And I feel like I would never be this type of person if I was going to become sober. Well, if my friends were getting like mixed drinks, I'm not going to get like a 7-Up with some chili sauce. Like I'm just going to get a water or a Diet Coke.
Oh yeah, like trying to make it this whole thing. Do you think people do that with weed? They're
But
like,
I
I'm
get
gonna
it,
smoke.
It's fun.
Oh yeah, I get it. If you actually need to go sober and you just want to drink, have the taste of beer.
Yeah, it just makes it fun. I
But
guess.
like, I wonder if people do that with weed. Like they smoke these little like nuggets that don't have weed.
Well, like one like so I didn't really like know this was a thing. But there was like I'm guessing like this is what people would do if they want to like smoke weed, but they just don't like the effects of weed. Is that I guess you can buy like gold up things that are just CBD, and I mean CBD has like it doesn't just make you calm basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you did want to like have a smoking weed experience but didn't want to smoke weed, you could just do that, I guess.
Oh, that's true.
Get the CBD roll ups going.
That just made me think of how one of our relatives, like they had back pain and they were going on an 8-hour train ride and from Colorado. So they were like, oh, let me do weed. Cause like apparently that's supposed to, it's illegal in Colorado. So let me do weed on the train to help with my back pain. But they ended up just saying it was like horrible because they never had done weed. And then they're on an 8-hour train ride, stuck on a train doing weed for the first time. And it's not even helping the back pain. Like that actually sounds horrible.
Yeah, I feel like time would drag on.
I know. Like I feel like that 8-hour train ride would have felt like 2 years.
Whenever I picture someone on a train, I just picture the Polar Express. Like I just can't picture it sucking because I just picture like the Polar Express.
I know. Our only experience with the train is for a train we went on for my video earlier this summer, and it was this like luxury train. So trains are just iconic.
Oh yeah, like on that train ride, like I enjoyed it, but like I still just like want to keep going on chains because it just sounds. I feel like I like the idea of chains.
I do want to go on one in winter, so it can be like the Polar Express.
Also, I do want to. Someone on that chain said that there was like everything has to be about drinking, guys. Someone said there's a chain where like there's like booze chains, like there's like a tequila chain where like basically you pay for 10 shots and you have one each hour or something.
Oh, she said it goes all the way to Mexico.
Yeah, and you drink
you get off the train in Mexico and you drink tequila the whole way.
Yeah, but she made it sound like it wasn't just like, oh, we're getting tipsy. It was like the train ride's 8 hours and you order 10 shots.
I was like, that would be rowdy.
I mean, like people would be getting down.
I don't know. I feel like you've one row of people will be crying. The next they'd be laughing. The next row they're aggressively fighting.
The next you're like they're kind of like doing hand jobs and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I feel like it would just be insane. The drunk fights on the train would be the scariest. Because like, what do you do on a train? Like, you can't kick anyone off.
But here's the thing though, is that when you're drinking, and like probably the same with weed and every substance that people do, there's a totally different experience though when you're sitting down versus standing up. So if you're just sitting down and drinking, I kind of feel like nothing would even happen. It's just more the vibe of hello. But if you're standing up, then I feel like shit happens.
That's when the fights start.
And like, dude, just more interesting stuff's gonna happen if you're standing up. I
could see that. Yeah, I feel like when you're sitting, it is all just sort of contained, even if you're 10 shots deep.
Yeah, because I remember like noticing this with like weed before. Like you don't really feel it until you get up. You could kind of say it's the same with alcohol. Like you don't really feel it until you get up.
Well, I've heard people say that. But speaking of all this like weird weed psychedelic stuff, there's another. Not only was Bigfoot discovered this week.
What else was discovered, Lucas?
This was actually this was on my Google News, like up at the top. Like if it's closer to the top, it's like this is real news, and you get closer to you go keep scrolling, it goes to more like random things.
Like it starts with like oh yeah, like this is the presidential election, and then it goes to like, okay, the hurricanes are all fake. Oh, then you read the whole article about that, and you think like, is it fake? I'm joking, guys. Obviously.
Or do they have like a fact checking thing at the bottom? But this was at the top. Maybe it's because of my algorithm, it knows that I'm interested in this. But they said lucid dreaming communication was proven via a study.
Oh my gosh, I like dreaming and stuff is like one of my favorite things. I know.
So when I saw the headline, I was so excited because I was like, wait, 2 people were lucid dreaming and they communicated. Like that proves there's joint consciousness. I was so excited. But then I read the article and it ruined everything. It's like, girl, what the even is this? So I guess they have this device. Basically, they wanted to prove that you can communicate while you're sleeping, which I guess is cool, but not really that cool compared to what I thought it was going to be. They were both connected to this device, I guess. And it would send it once one of them went into a lucid dreaming state. Somehow the brain equipment that was attached to their head knew they were in REM sleep.
Yeah.
So like then it sent them this signal that made a noise, or somehow they figured it out where it sent them a message in their dream. And the person in the lucid dream heard the message and repeated it in their dream, and the equipment sent that back to the machine. So it was like, okay, like the machine communicated with that dreamer while they were in the lucid dreaming state.
Wait, so someone was awake when the other person was sleeping?
No, they were both sleeping.
Oh, okay.
And then the other person went to sleep, and the machine also sent them the message. So it's like they were both communicating to a machine, not even each other. And also, it's like that doesn't even prove joint consciousness is real. So I was just pissed about the whole study. Maybe it has more future implications that I'm not realizing, because the article said, like, you guys, this is going to change everything. Like, if we can communicate in our dreams, but it's like, well, I don't really think, like, I feel like if we're just going to be communicating through some machine, like, I'd rather just sleep and take off some time communicating.
Okay, because when I see that article title, I thought it would be like they would both have a dream about them being at the mall, and like they would both say like, yeah, we went to Hot Topic and bought 2 gorilla t-shirts.
I know,
and, like,
that would
real
be more
thing.
fun. Oh yeah, because we talked about this on the way earlier on the podcast, but Jacob and I communicated in a dream once, allegedly.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not even allegedly. Like we both, like it happened, but I guess like we don't know if it's like communicating in a dream. It could be a coincidence.
I know, because I was in Australia, Jacob was in America, and then you randomly texted me one morning saying, "Was I in your dream last night?" And then I was creeped out because you were in my dream. So we didn't actually, there wasn't like a specific message we gave each other, but it was just creepy that like we both had each other in our dream.
Was it something about like a dream on a plane, or was that not?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Because like it does go a little bit deeper where we can't.
Oh wait, that's true. There was a specific thing,
Yeah,
but it was because I was on a plane. So maybe that makes it. That is like just to be devil's advocate. Like we both knew I was on a plane. So me to be dreaming that I'm on a plane and you to be dreaming that I was on a plane.
Well, but it's whether you saw me on the plane on the dream. Still.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
But yeah, you were on a plane, but that's still like weird, because you could just say like if you were in Los Angeles and I was in Nebraska, I had a dream about being in Los Angeles. You could just say like, but I was in Los Angeles, but that still is weird.
And
like,
we have to do more deeper tests.
Or like something that I was gonna say, which this sounds too time consuming and it kind of sounds scary. Like it sounds so scary to me. Something that we could test out, but it sounds creepy. Is one of us takes a nap, and then the other person keeps thinking things by them and see if they dream about it.
Oh my God.
That sounds kind of like time consuming, but we could
no,
try
I wrote this down because in the 1970s, they researched so many like interesting, like, I think it's called like parapsychology things, like paranormal psychology things. But one of them was by Montague Ullman and Stanley Krippner. And they did lucid dreaming testing like that, where somebody was sleeping and someone was in another room sending them a message.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was picturing.
And they actually had like people who were able to do it, but apparently the study hasn't been able to be replicated. And people say like it's not a legitimate study, but I believe it.
But something that I do believe, like with this lucid dreaming thing, is that if you're doing a study, is that I kind of believe this if it is real. Like I feel like for it to really work, even though this might be cheating, is you'd have to do people that I feel like if people know each other, it'd be more likely to work. So like,
because
if
you can't just communicate with a stranger. That wouldn't make sense.
Yes, if they just pick someone from Walmart to do the test with me, I feel like let's just say there's like a 20% chance it would work. But if like you or like one of our siblings or one of our parents was doing it, I feel like I would just assume there's a way higher chance it would work because we already know each other. And that could be cheating, I don't know, but I feel like
that would make like your joint consciousness more open.
Because you're more similar to them too, and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you'd be more like open-minded because you actually know them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's apparently going to be. So I don't know what the company was called, REM Space, who did the recent lucid dreaming study, and I don't know if they're going to like sell that device eventually. That like. You both be connected to it while you sleep and communicate. I don't really know.
Wait, but can you? Okay, so there was a moderator that gave them something to think about, or how exactly did it work? Because I'm like a little bit confused.
Like somehow This is the thing. It's complicated. Like somehow they were able to come up with this like language or something that they could communicate with this person in the dream. So they
through
sent
the machine they would make this. Okay.
So the machine sent them a signal while they were in REM state of sleep. And then the person in the lucid dream sent the signal back to the machine. So that is cool. Like, that is cool that somebody lucid dreamed and like they were communicating with like the outside world while they were lucid dreaming.
I would hate if it ever gets proven that your dreams are another reality. It's like, I've had dreams about like the most fucked up shit. So if that is another reality, that sucks.
What if they come out with a study that says like the dream is the actual reality?
Oh, and like this isn't reality.
And this is the dream. And it's like, we haven't been spending so much time on this dream life then.
It's like, why did I sleep more? And like, what if the reason why people get some people are more tired than others, like they like feel like they need 12 hours of sleep versus like 6 hours or whatever, is because like they have more going on in the other dimension.
That's
in this dimension, they're like, oh, I'm a secretary, but then in the other dimension, it's like, oh, like I like actually got like this whole astronaut thing. It's like, what if it gets proven and then like we can finally understand the people that sleep so much and be like, oh, I actually like feel for you. Like the reason why you need to sleep so much is because like you're running a SpaceX company in the dream. And it's actually real though.
Oh yeah, because like people brag in this life saying, I only need 4 hours of sleep, but now that wouldn't be a brag. It'd be like, you must be a loser in your other life.
Yeah.
It's like you weren't doing shit in your dream world. You're only going there for 4 hours.
Yeah, I would yeah, I guess this has happened multiple times on the podcast. I don't really know how to transition to another topic, but I have another topic to talk about.
Do it.
Okay, so I was on a walk, and sometimes I bring our family dogs, and I always think like, do I always need to pick up the dog shit? What I'm referring to, so everyone knows, is that if I'm in a part of the walk where if the dog shits there, it just isn't wild, like landscape space.
Oh yeah, so like how wild are we talking? Are you talking just like the little partition on the road that's full of grass?
I'm talking about that, but when I'm asking this question, I'm mostly talking about when you're literally just in the wilderness and it just is like, it's not even a public park. It just is like literally just like the only thing that would be living there is like raccoons and stuff.
Oh, wait, then like, what if leaving the poop there like fertilizes the ground or something?
Okay, so that's the wavelength I was on. I was like, why are people so particular about picking up poop in these areas? Because it just is fertilizer. But then I looked it up last night because I was like, I need to find out. I can't just like be spreading misinformation.
Oh yeah, we cannot be doing that on the Bro Show.
I know. So then I looked it up and there was a bunch of articles. Like basically every article said this. This isn't just one article. But I guess it's... A lot of these articles from vets and stuff say it's bad not to pick up your dog's poop you should pick it up in any space because they can have a bunch of like illnesses and diseases in their poop, and then that could get spread through wildlife. But then that could also I guess like the poop could also go into like the sewers, and then it becomes this whole thing where now it's everywhere. These parasites and other illnesses that your dog may have. So from the stuff that I read, I guess it's actually, if you really want to be a good person, it's good to pick up your dog poop everywhere because even though it may fertilize the ground, it also may harm the wildlife and the sewer system.
Which will end up harming you and other humans and future humans and future generations, and you could have ruined everything.
Yeah, I guess I just thought of it as like, why am I picking up... Because this is what I thought, if I'm being completely honest. It's like, so I'm getting out a plastic bag to pick up dog shit in a wild space area. It's like, that's kind of sounds, to me, it sounds anti-environmental. But then after reading this stuff,
after research,
I understand it now.
I feel like I would pick it up everywhere because for the sole fact of I'd just be scared of ending up on the neighborhood app. Everyone getting mad at you. Because there's been people in my neighborhood where like, I actually am wondering, I'm like, are they going to move out? Like, because people hate them so much on the neighborhood app.
Oh my God.
There's been actual fights where like someone said like, oh yeah, like people need to start scooping their sidewalks because like we're trying to go on walks and it isn't safe. And then everyone like hated that person for coming out with that stance. And they were like, some people have work, like our kids have activities, like we aren't just sitting at home. Like we can't just scoop the sidewalk the second it snows. And like all these people were piling on them, and it was like, he can't show his face around these parts anymore.
I swear, like, I could never predict what people are going to say. Because if you told me that neighborhood post and said, what do you think people are saying? I feel like I would have predicted most people would have said, yeah, you bitches need to actually start cleaning. Like, you guys are cleaning the snow. It's actually just annoying. My kids walk from school. But then it actually was the opposite. It's it's unpredictable.
So now it's like, that's why I would always pick up the dog poop anywhere. Because can you imagine, everyone's recording on their Ring doorbells. People always have their iPhones pointed out the windows at the sidewalk, hoping someone doesn't pick up the poop. And then the second you don't, you're blasted on neighborhood app and your whole neighborhood despises you.
And they're going to start sending each other the videos, sending them the videos of you not picking up the poop. Probably create a compilation and put it on TikTok saying,
oh, and then the whole world hates
annoying
you.
Ass neighbor, and then somehow the View's gonna talk about it, and like all of those people on the View. Is it like a new? So it's probably, I'm guessing it's still Whoopi Goldberg and who's the girl with like reddish hair?
Joy Behar.
Behar. But other than that, is there like a whole new group of people on there?
I haven't watched. I actually used to be like an adamant View watcher from like 2016 to 2020. I was watching that. That was like the way I got the news.
I know. I remember
That's how I
being
stayed
at
up
your
to date.
apartment and you would be like, okay, I'm going to watch this and then go to the gym.
I know it's so much. It was just iconic. Eating breakfast, watching The View. Like Whoopi was just so iconic.
Like
they get in fights with Meghan McCain. Like it was just everything.
Yeah, because you got me into it. I feel like the peak of The View was when Meghan McCain was on it.
Okay, so she's not anymore.
I don't think so, because didn't she say like I'm just laughing, but like I don't know if it was actually serious. But didn't she say like she was like the worst work environment for her or something?
Oh,
I just remember hearing about that.
Because it is like obviously it's a really liberal leaning show, and they always have one Republican that they basically just bully the whole time. So obviously you're just going to be bad for your mental health to be the one Republican that everyone gangs up on. You'd have to be someone who loves that shit. You have to be someone who wants to fight every day.
And you get FUD from the negativity.
Yeah.
Because I just loved watching it, and like I remember there was so many times Meghan McCain would say something and they would act like she was such a dumbass. And I honestly, for a certain point, I remember I watched it sometimes and it wasn't even to learn about anything. It was just to like get with the drama, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I also loved it because Whoopi, she's like the main host, so she always has the ability to cut people off. Because like she would always get her point across, and Meghan McCain would try to get her point across, and she'd say, "Nope, we're going to commercial." All right. So like she would always like. Can you imagine if you had the power to cut to commercial whenever you want to cut off your opponents? Like that would be it, the ultimate power.
I know, that was so funny. I always loved that part of the show when they said, "Okay, we're going to commercial," and someone was mid-sentence.
I know, she's like, "You just stop talking." And then they also would roast her because she always would do these different hairstyles. And they would just be like, "Oh, what's it today?" Like it was actually like she probably is still in therapy for that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I kind of want to watch a few episodes now.
And I
Like
need
see
to
what the
get
new
back
people are doing.
in. Yeah, I'm trying to think like when did I just stop watching? I don't know. I guess I just don't know when it stopped, but I don't get my news from there now. I'm not up to date on everything.
You're the most accurate too.
I know. I've been watching the Vogue documentary on Hulu.
Oh, I think our mom watched this.
Oh yeah, I've watched so many episodes, and it's talking about all of like the 90s supermodels and just how fashion, like I didn't realize that in the 90s, from this documentary, it's saying that's when like fashion coincided with Hollywood. Like that was the first time.
It's like when like supermodels actually became superstars, right?
No, it was when, and also when like movie stars started participating and being on the cover of Vogue and being dressed specifically for events. Like I guess before that, they would have had to like buy their own. Like it wasn't very common before the 90s for these major designers to have relationships with celebrities to dress them for red carpets.
Oh, okay. So the people on the cover of Vogue or other fashion magazines would be people that their whole career is fashion.
Oh yeah, because they were saying how in the 90s when they started having like, I think like Gwyneth Paltrow was one of the first people on, like Cameron Diaz. They were talking to the Vogue editors and they were saying they actually hated when the celebrities were, they're kind of like, we're like, oh, this kind of sucks. This is how the world's going. Like we need a celebrity to sell the magazine. Because they were saying shooting with celebrities was just kind of annoying. Whereas if you shoot with a model, they said it was so amazing. Like they do it for a living. Whereas celebrities were all insecure. And that made me realize.
Teach them how to like do it basically.
Isn't there that modeling's actually a talent? Because you know, like I feel like most people don't really think it is, but like these people, like that's their whole job. And they said like it's so much easier working with a model than a non-model because like they're so much better at posing. Like posing is really an art form.
And then when I'm thinking about it, I would even go as far to like say like posing is kind of like creating a whole vibe. And like in my mind, I feel like creating a whole vibe through posing sounds difficult.
Oh yeah, I feel like you have to be
you have to portray a whole thing.
Whereas I feel like if you're too posed, I feel like that would look weird. You feel like this is like loose, like in the present moment, spiritual guru kind of.
Yeah, I feel like you do really have to like be one of those energy people where you can easily flow through energies. And like, isn't the whole thing with models is like the person would probably say like, for this shoot, we're trying to convey like someone who's like a drug person, and then for this shoot, we're trying to convey someone that's like a librarian or something. So like it does actually, it's kind of but it kind of sounds like another form of like being an actor though.
Oh, that's what I thought was weird. I haven't watched the whole thing, but like none of those 90s supermodels really got into acting in the 90s. But like nowadays, if somebody was that famous in any like capacity in any medium, they would immediately like be like, oh, if you want to be an actor, be an actor. But like Kate Moss and Naomi Campbell and stuff, like they don't even really do acting. I guess Tyra Banks eventually did like Life Size and stuff, but I feel like nowadays it would be a whole different thing where they'd be in like these Oscar-nominated movies and stuff.
I feel like we've entered this whole new thing. Like, it's funny how that was the 90s, but nowadays I feel like everything's just combined. Like, someone could literally be like a business owner, and they get famous from being a business owner, and then they're on the cover of Vogue for fashion. Like, I feel like though, like every world collides now.
Oh, and they were also saying that before the 90s, when it all like coincided and meshed together, like a lot of movie stars wouldn't really want to do too much in fashion because they thought it would make them not be taken seriously as an actor.
Oh, because then they'd only be taken seriously as a fashion
Well,
person
they'd be like,
and not as an actor.
Yeah, just wouldn't be. For some reason, I guess it just wasn't as taken seriously as films. So like it'd be kind of looked down on, and maybe you wouldn't. Like they wouldn't really cast you in important movies anymore because they'd be like, oh, they're just like a fashion person.
But now it's like the other way around. I feel like
And I feel like you have to be.
Your career.
I feel like you have to be a fashion person now to be a movie star.
It seems like a lot. When you actually look at these fashion ads, it seems like it always is just movie stars for the most part.
Oh, but then they kept interviewing Linda Evangelista. She was one of like the big 90s supermodels. And I guess she one time, I feel like we've all heard this quote somehow.
I know you're gonna say, because I was actually gonna mention this when you mentioned.
Oh,
this.
so you know we've all heard. I feel like I've heard I heard the quote even before the documentary. I feel like it's just one of those quotes you just hear.
I thought I heard it before the documentary
too. So I guess
too.
she was getting interviewed by this reporter, and they asked her how much do supermodels get paid, and she said, "We don't get out of bed for less than $10,000."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But then it was funny because she like actually regrets it. She's like, "That's all anyone thinks about me for now, and it just sucks." And I was like, "That is iconic. Like you should own that." But she's all embarrassed of it, and then like they were all saying, "Yeah, it was so embarrassing for her when that came out," and like it was just we were all so embarrassed for her that was a thing.
Oh yeah, because like our mom watched it, and I was like in the room when she was watching this part, and it was just this whole thing where I was thinking what you were thinking. I was thinking like, okay, so of course if someone that I knew said that, of course it's like obviously you sound superficial and stuff, but it's like your job is literally a model. So I actually think that saying that like adds to the whole character of being a model. Like I feel like when society pictures a model, we picture these people that all they care about is looks. They're superficial. Like that's what I feel like most people picture. And to say you only got a bud for $10,000 fits that mold so much. It's like it's kind of humorous at a certain point.
I know if you're gonna be a supermodel, like you should fully play the part. Like give some theatrics to the audience. You know?
Yeah, and it's like this whole thing of like, oh, like, didn't they do this whole thing of like, oh, it's not even true, like it's fake.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like I like the idea of like playing a movie character. Like obviously you've gotten on a bud for less than that, but it's like
the actual Vogue editors, like they were saying they wanted, I guess it was in Vogue or something, or somehow they had control over the interview because they wanted to cut that line, but the writer kept saying no, like you have to keep this line, like this line is iconic, like we cannot cut it. So finally they were like, okay, just leave it in. But they were annoyed because they said, yeah, like that's not even true. Like she works for Vogue for way less than 10K. But like it's like let's just give everyone the illusion, you know, the supermodel illusion.
Yeah, I feel like there's like so many stuff like that happens where people say stuff that isn't true, but they just think it sounds cool.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
But she also said in that interview, the reporter said that she didn't eat dinner. They went to dinner, and all she had for dinner was 2 pieces of chocolate cake and a bunch of vodka and cigarettes. And he was like, he also wrote that in the article because he was like, that's just also iconic. Like she's actually a supermodel. Like she's just eating chocolate cake and like smoking and drinking vodka.
Okay, this is what
like supermodels don't eat chicken, they eat chocolate cake.
But this is my question though about the whole thing. And even nowadays, I know this was the 90s, so there might have been less information, but even nowadays, why do you see like videos and stuff and photos of these models smoking cigarettes? Because I thought they would be like, I thought it would be the vibe of like, oh, like I want to look young forever, so why would it be smoking?
Oh, and like smoking ages you?
Yeah, so I guess, and people say alcohol does too, but specifically with smoking, like there's more info about it. So I always think like, why would they? I thought they would care too much because they want to always be a supermodel.
Oh yeah, maybe they just think they have to smoke
because they think it's
it's just like,
like
they
the
think
mystique.
it's chic.
Yeah, chic. Yeah.
You just have to like, because you can picture on so many modeling photos, they're like, okay, now I'll do like a cigarette photo, like the classic glamorous cigarette photo. So then they're like, I guess I have to be addicted to cigarettes, you know?
Yeah, that actually sounds like the most like out of it combo to me. Like if today I ate for lunch and if I ate for dinner 2 slices of chocolate cake, cigarettes and vodka, I swear I wouldn't remember anything.
I know, I'd be saying
drinking while eating chocolate cake. That sounds like the recipe for a disaster.
I know, no wonder why she was giving these offhand quotes.
Cause it's like, yo, I feel like you'd just be out of it at that point. Chocolate cake has like no substance.
I know, that actually sounds gross.
Okay, like for me, like let's say, yeah, like to me, even if I just like wouldn't want chocolate cake. I'd rather have like chicken tenders. I don't know.
I know, chocolate cake for dinner? Like that, I know that's like people would say, if you're living your dream life, no calories matter, chocolate cake for dinner. But it's like, I actually wouldn't do that.
Oh, same with like...
I want like I'd have like McNuggets or something. Yeah, like chicken wings.
Yeah, like I would never have a toaster strudel for dinner.
Oh yeah, that stuff just, I don't know what happened, but it just doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah, like, but I could
I'm
see...
just too mature now.
When I was like 10, though, if someone said chocolate cake for dinner, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah, but Linda Evangelista, like that name just is, it sounds like art.
Is that her
Linda
real name?
Evangelista. I don't know. Like Evangelista.
I know, it sounds like, to me, it sounds like someone that's like involved in the mob.
I don't know, Linda Evangelista. To me, it gives like a Catholic vibe, but like this chic Catholic. Like I'm picturing like her family like runs the Vatican, and like she's like not really Catholic, but like she likes the fashion of Catholicism. You know,
She's just into more the vibe of
yeah,
it.
like Madonna and Lady Gaga. You know,
Yeah, they use it for imagery.
They like the Catholicism imagery. It's just a whole thing. Evangelista.
So how did these people say they became models? Like, how did you become a model in the 90s or 80s?
Some of them are just like discovered on a subway. They were like, do you want to be a model? I think Kate Moss just really wanted to, so she always would work with these photographers.
Oh, and then that's another part I watched of it, is that didn't Kate Moss, people say she invented more of having a wailed look. Like before that, people were more traditionally pretty. But then, then people, like then when she got hired by so many people, she kind of created this new wave of like not looking traditionally pretty. And some people could say looking wailed.
Oh, yeah. And that still goes on today. Like when you look at these supermodels, like if you drive down Sunset Boulevard and see all the like branded, the designer like billboards, it always is these kind of like alien people, but it's like a cool like alien vibe. Like that is like such a cool look.
Oh yeah, that like thing still lives on. I feel like if you just like, I don't even have a fashion magazine, but if you look through one, I feel like most of it would just be like people looking like you would never see someone in the wild looking like that for the most part.
Modeling, high fashion.
It's very... Yeah.
I almost threw up the sucralose.
So is the edible like hitting more? Do you have more cotton mouth?
I actually just have the vibe of I ate all this maple syrup that was sugar free. Like I have this like weird like sugar coating in my mouth.
So are you like not gonna even eat that tomato?
No.
That sauce?
I'm never having that sauce again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the brand in case they want to sponsor next week.
Oh yeah, they might want to.
And we're gonna take the money.
Pepperidge Farms, I'm assuming.
Just a little advertisement, just a little promo for next week. Next week is our first ad.
Oh shit!
So for the Bro Show 2.0. So just be looking forward to an ad. Be so excited to come next week to see the ad.
Yeah, it's in like. Yeah.
Today we actually, someone sent an ad in for an erectile dysfunction medication, and it said we had to personally endorse it, and I was like, but neither of us suffer with ED. So I was like, we want to take away the stigma if someone does have ED, but we don't suffer with it, so we can't really personally endorse it, but like I'm down to promote it because like what if one of the Bro Show listeners is suffering with erectile dysfunction? Like I want to get them that med.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll just like force myself to get erectile dysfunction for the ad. Like, don't people say what causes erectile dysfunction? Sometimes it's just like watching a bunch of porn. So maybe for the next week, I just watch a bunch of porn and then suffer from it, so then I can be honest. In the ad.
Can you
that
try
could be
to
a good idea?
Can you try to get it so we can get the check?
I might do that for the for the big podcast check. I'm joking.
Well, we are not doing this podcast again until someone pays us $10,000.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be my quote. I won't do a podcast unless it's $10,000.
Oh yeah, we do our big interview with like the New York Times, the Bro Show Empire. So how much do you guys get paid? I don't even pick up that microphone for less than $10K.
Yeah.
we promote everything, erectile dysfunction meds.
I feel like there's an even annoying way to say it though. I'm trying to think of it, even annoying way, obnoxious way of saying like, I don't know. I'm trying to really think of something really annoying to say.
We'll come up with it.
Yeah. For that.
Well, bye.
Bye guys.